Hello, hello, party people again. Even though we're all wearing the same clothes, like these videos were shot at different times. I swear, we're not like doing a marathon or anything, because that'd just be crazy. That'd be a little homoerotic. That's what I'm saying. But um, I don't know what I think. We have a couple topics we want to talk about.
It's just fun talk, guys. We're going to start with some food because I'm a foodie personally, and I love food, especially buffet food. This guy knows how much I like hibachi and buffet. And then we can move on to some, nostalgic shows and movies from the past that we've that, you know, um, grown up watching. So, yeah, that's about it.
So I guess in regards to fusion food, there's something I really want to try that at least I haven't seen around here, but I'm sure it's somewhere in New York most likely. But Korean fried chicken. I've heard so many things
Ooh, yeah.
about that. Yeah, have you had it before?
KFC. I, KFC, the famous KFC, besides the actual KFC, yeah. Um, I think I've had it like from a coworker that got it. But I don't think I've actually had it in a restaurant. But it tastes pretty good, like especially with the sweet chili sauce and they put on it or something like that. It tastes pretty good, I feel.
And
Yeah.
that is a fusion food, right? I am unaware whether Koreans
Well,
actually fried their chicken. To be honest,
I,
I'm not
I
sure.
actually don't know whether that's the fusion food. I do know that. So when I lived in Phoenix, Arizona, um, so Phoenix has pretty diverse culture as well, right now especially because a lot of people are migrating. So we went to a restaurant that had Indo-Chinese food, which is a mix of South Asia and East Asia. And that was a fusion food which tasted really good because I remember having dumplings with South Asian noodles, Indian noodles and stuff like that, which is the Hakka noodles. That's what it's called in South Asia, and it's like pan-fried noodles with like East Asian authentic dumplings. And there are a couple of other food as well, like they have the South Asian desserts, right? like the gulab jamun and all that stuff, along with dumplings and the chicken teriyaki and stuff. So it was mixed. There were a few mixed dishes as well as individuals as well. That was really good. I forgot the name of the restaurant, but that was one of the more delicious ones. What about you, bro? Have you tried in a particular restaurant setting?
I was gonna ask, do you know what mukbang is?
I do. Yeah. The videos.
Yeah.
Um,
So I remember seeing like this group of Korean guys, right? I think they were Korean. They were definitely Asian though. They really liked Korean barbecue, and they went to this buffet that served all this Korean food and Korean barbecue. They were eating so much that the owner actually paid them to leave. That's how much they were eating of Korean barbecue, and that was wild to me. That's crazy to me.
I think you told me about that story. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
think you told
crazy.
me.
Yeah, like how much money are you losing from them eating versus paying them to leave? That's crazy to me, though.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a few videos on that. But usually, like the big buffets, they have like a threshold. Like if you go above like 5 or 6 plates, they start losing money. So, I guess you have to eat like a lot in order for that to happen.
I
You
mean,
know?
yeah, like I understand that's why they don't like it when you waste food, but like still, it's a like a plate in general is a decent size to be finishing all the food on it for.
Yeah. Oh man, there's a place we go to again, not sponsored in any means by any means by that place. There's a buffet in Connecticut. Not going to name the city, but you want to talk about it, bro? Go ahead.
Oh, say that one more time.
There's a buffet that we've gone to many
Oh,
times.
so
Yeah.
uh, it's called Osaka, but the thing is, it's not necessarily Osaka, Japan related. It's more
Right.
uh, a lot of Asian food in general. And the crazy part is they have a lot of American food as well, I guess. So that's to like, appease certain people who might not like too much Asian food. But it's a standard hibachi buffet. I would call it that. They do obviously with that name, they have hibachi They also have the amount of sushi they have is a nice variety. Unfortunately, there is no sashimi whatsoever, and that as someone who does like sashimi, that kind of bothers me. But it's a like what do you expect? It's not like a 5-star restaurant, but like that doesn't mean it doesn't taste good, of course. But um they have what the cakes. They had, like the cool thing is they have different things almost every day and like or every week I would assume, and so there's always a decent amount of variety and it's not a place where you have to like eat your money's worth because like you really don't have to eat that much to get the amount of money that you would get somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually one of my favorites. Like, I've actually been to the various different buffets. One of the sad things that happened, well, I shouldn't be saying, sad or anything like that, but one of the things that I wish hadn't happened is a lot of the Indian buffets, they've gone out of business buffet-wise after the pandemic because there are a few buffets I used to go to, one near Hartford, Connecticut. They don't do buffet anymore, just normal dining times and prices. The good thing with the buffet is you get to try different food at the same time, especially if you haven't tried that kind of cuisine before. And it's reasonably priced as well at that during those particular hours. But yeah, so as of right now, I stick to these days buffets in Osaka is one of my favorites, mainly because of the variety. And compared to some of the other buffets, it tastes better, I feel. I don't know. Yeah. And the other thing is the hibachi is properly maintained. There's a cook that I know over there, and I don't know what's it called. The place where they cook the tabletop, right? They cook the stuff on.
That was just hibachi. I thought it was just called hibachi. I'm not sure.
Right. So, yeah. Oh, I think it's called the hibachi grill, right? For the tabletop, where they fry and do all that stuff.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So one thing I'll tell you guys, some of the other places I've been to, I've seen that after each round of cooking, they actually don't clean it very well. But in this particular case in Osaka, I've seen one of the cooks, and he's there a lot. He is very diligent about cleaning before every batch of cooking. So the food doesn't have any remnants of the previous batch. So it tastes a lot better and fresher when he cooks it on the spot. And that's why I love going to the buffet. And the thing is, a lot of people, they think, buffet food is not that good and this and that. But the thing is, you have to understand, if you go to a buffet, right, because it's cheap, you have to only try to eat certain foods which can be trustworthy. If you're really worried about it. So for me personally, I love the chicken. There's certain things, there's certain dishes of shrimp that I really like. The soup and the white rice, they go really well. It's very light on the stomach as well, So yeah, overall, I feel based on my experience in the past, it's a really good buffet. Yeah.
I know, I think there's one in Fairfield, a hibachi grill. And at that particular establishment where it's just hibachi, they do all those tricks with the food and they do the volcano. Yeah. Right. But I will say, in regards to Indian buffets, I know you mentioned that earlier. I think there's one in Stanford that might be a buffet. I don't know, I haven't researched this. It's a good idea to research though. Like if we want Indian food one time, but I don't think, with the exception of Coromandel, that did the buffet on Sundays only. I'm not sure if they still do it, but that was one of the few Indian buffets I've ever been to. I didn't know that Indian food came with a buffet because I always thought it was somewhat expensive to make. Was it? I guess when you mass produce it, I guess it's cheaper because you're making a lot of it.
Well, it depends on what you're making as well, right? So there's one place we used to go to a lot. Is in Hartford, Connecticut. It's called Bombay Olive. So I called them a couple of times after the pandemic to see if they're still there or not. I think they're still there, but they don't do buffets anymore. But the food is really good. I think I'm going to go anyways because it's probably one of the best. It's actually Indo-Nepalese food. So any people from that part of Asia viewing will know what I mean. it's a fusion food again. It's actually one of the fusion food. It's a fusion food within India and Nepal. That's why it's called Indo-Nepalese. And so yeah, do try it, guys. If you're there in Hartford, Connecticut, Bombay Olives, it used to be really good. Like the last time I had it was back in 2018. So I don't know how it is right now. If the owners have changed or the cooks have changed, I don't know. But at that point in time, it was really good. Yeah, and guys, if you know of different restaurants, and also if you want us to make videos of certain restaurants, like review it, and we can go and make the video over there. Just put that in the comments. We can explore together. So, what do you think, bro? Yeah.
Let me know if you ever ran into this situation. Like, it was a fusion restaurant, but they weren't really fusing anything together. Because I'll give you an example. Back in Boston in my BU University days, there's this restaurant called Cayuga, and they specialized in Korean and Japanese food, and they called themselves a fusion restaurant, and they weren't really doing anything together. They were just serving separate Korean and separate Japanese food. I was like, how is this a fusion? Like,
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know. Yeah. This is not really fusion. You're just serving
it's like
just two different dishes. Yeah,
it's nice that it's available if you want it, but I wouldn't call it a fusion restaurant if you don't have any fusion stuff.
I mean, yeah, you can do that as long as you have at least some fusion dishes, But yeah, I mean, you can call a buffet like that, to be honest, because a buffet is a combination of different food from different cultures a lot of the times. Yeah.
I personally like, I don't know because you don't eat kimchi, right?
I've never really tried it. I don't know whether I'm going to like it or not, to be honest. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to like it, maybe.
Yeah, it's a very tangy taste, yeah. But,
Sure. Oh, good. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were frozen. Kimchi jjigae, which is basically Korean noodle soup. That is, they serve it in this iron bowl, and supposedly it's really hot, and that I will admit could be a fusion of Korean soup and Japanese miso soup. I will admit that,
right.
Tofu, seaweed, I get that, but that's not what they call it. They just call it the kimchi jjigae, which is a Korean dish. But I don't know. For all we know, they're adding elements to all these foods that most people who would not know are Japanese or Korean.
Probably, yeah. You never know. Certain things. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anywhere else yeah.
I was going to ask you, so, I don't know, have you talked to your viewers about you living in Vegas? They know, right?
Oh, yeah. When I had recently come back, is about when I started this YouTube channel. And I mentioned it, obviously, several times in some of my books, and it's just crazy. Shameless plug.
What about the food in Vegas? Because I've never been there, so I don't know.
Honestly, in Vegas, people think there's a lot of mom and pop restaurants and stuff. And there's a few, but a lot of even the small ones, some of them are chains. I know there's this place called Roberto's Taco Shop, famous in Las Vegas. They have multiple locations too.
Yeah, and okay. Want some tacos right now? Yeah.
And I introduced you to Raising Cane's at multiple locations. Oh. And the only thing about Vegas, the only problem they had was any of their buffets were always in a casino. There were no buffets that were not in a casino, and for some people who might have a gambling tendency, even a problem, that's not always a good thing. I don't know. So I get it though. That's the business plan. They draw you in, and you gamble money and you lose it. I get it.
We got to try in the food in Mohegan Sun, bro. Guys, I don't know how many of you have been to the Mohegan Sun in the East Coast, but have you tried the food in Mohegan Sun? I've never tried the restaurants and stuff.
They used to have this 24-hour little cafe place, and it was borderline diner food, to be honest. And I liked it, but I don't think it's there anymore. I think they replaced those. I don't think anything in Mohegan Sun is 24 hours anymore besides the gambling. So it's unfortunate, but # pandemic problems.
Yeah, no, I get it. Now, I'd love to check out the buffet, in Morgan Stanley, like even during like regular hours.
Yeah.
Want to see? I think it's a little more expensive than the usual ones, I guess. Probably.
Yeah,
I
a
don't know.
little bit, but like there's so much variety. There's so much variety.
True. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, we
usually,
try that.
unfortunately, it's always American food usually, but Foxwoods. I've been to the Foxwoods buffet.
Oh, is
It's
it better?
yeah,
Is it good? Oh, nice.
it's it's um it's worth the money because it's not ridiculously expensive and
Right.
it's for the variety you get. Like that, I feel like that pays for itself is the variety.
Well, what kind of variety you get? Like, a lot of fish and
That obviously
chicken and
depending
turkey.
depending on the time of day, yeah. Like still have breakfast, still have lunch. Sometimes
Nice.
parts of dinner, and like obviously they have a different menu for all those meals. So like
Yeah.
it's I would encourage people to do this. Like if you go to like Connecticut casinos a lot, go at different times so you can experience the different menus that they have, and like I think it's worth it. But a lot of people are like, no, it's trying to draw you in, just trying to take your money. But like maybe you shouldn't be in a casino if you're worried about your money being taken. Like
Just go eat the food, You don't need to gamble. You just gotta go eat the food, If you're so worried about it.
for the
Yeah.
people who gamble a lot, there's this thing that most people know, especially Vegas people, called comps, like complimentary stuff. One night I this is irrelevant, but like one night I dropped like I think close to 1,500, like over the course of like a week or so. They asked me, you want to eat something? I was like, it's like where? And like they had this little restaurant inside in a small ass casino, and like they gave it to me for free. I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then like a couple
Yeah.
times later, I was like, hey man, I'm kind of hungry. Can you hook me up? They gave it to me again. As long as you spend money, that's all they care about.
Yeah. I mean, they just make a huge amount of profit. Giving you a $30 meal is nothing, I guess. So yeah,
Yeah,
you can even ask for like, can I have like a couple more drinks? They will give it to you
yeah,
fresh.
definitely, yeah.
So yeah, so. But then if you're winning the money, I don't know what's gonna happen then. If you're winning a huge amount of money,
They want you to stay
then
there so you can lose it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what if you say that after winning, like, yeah, I'm gonna cash out, but in the meanwhile, can I have like a couple of drinks?
I
I
mean,
don't.
if you were at a table, the alcoholic drinks would be free.
Yeah,
But
yeah. No, what about the food and stuff? Hey, I'm kind of
the
hungry. I've been traveling
the
for a
food
while
is
now.
comped. You could get a comp there. There's a lot
Right.
of things you get comped. Like the nicer the place, the more you have to spend to get a comp. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
the casino I went to was called Poker Palace, and like
What was
poker
it in
was like
Vegas?
yeah, this was in like main Las Vegas. It was like in the middle of nowhere, and it was just like I actually liked it there. I mean, like the people are nice, and like nobody seemed like it didn't seem like anyone caused any trouble ever, and it just seems
Yeah.
kind of a nice little secluded place.
Right. Yeah. Never been
What's
to. Now I was just thinking about my time in Arizona. I didn't go to many Vegas. Sorry, I didn't go to any casinos. Um, I wish I had gone to Vegas, man, because but the pandemic hit, right, and everything just got shut down. We were planning to go some places, and yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised
Anyways,
if the strip didn't care. To be honest, I would be surprised
probably
if he just
yeah,
said. Now I could see it happening with local casinos for Las Vegas people. I could understand why those would shut down, but on strip,
right.
the strip is always open, man. Like they're not going to shut down the strip.
Oh yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. On a separate topic, though, you talk about Raising Cane's, right? Man, I miss Raising Cane's. God, that's good, man. Like,
I,
coming
I
back to
hate
the East Coast.
I hate to bring up a bad memory, but he's a surviving what do you call it? Surviving member of the people who love sweet tomatoes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
unfortunately, we all know what happened. Unfortunately,
Oh, I actually was thinking about talking about it. Yeah, that's true. And, like sweet tomatoes, like, you wanna go ahead and talk about it? Like, people
well,
don't know
like
about it.
when I was introduced to it, it was obviously from my ex because she lives in that area longer than I had, and she was like, "Yeah, it's like a salad buffet. They have other types of food too." And like, I loaded up my salad, right? And then I went and saw all the other food. I was like, "Shit, I should have got so much salad because I want to try all this other stuff."
The soup is amazing, bro. Like, especially you tried the chicken noodle soup, the chicken noodle, and the mushroom. Oh, it was so good.
I can't remember what the mushroom tastes like, to be honest, but yeah.
It's such a unique taste. Like it was. So I think we had like the veggie soup, chicken noodle soup. There was some beef. There was the mushroom, which probably was my favorite. And you had...
Did they have a clam chowder at all?
I don't know. I forgot about it, but I remember they had the tapioca pudding. And, yeah. And they had different muffins.
Oh, okay.
Different muffins. And they had ice cream, obviously. The drinks. They had
pizza. They had pizza.
That's right. They had the pizza. Yeah, it was pretty good. It's a good pizza, and they had the liquid brownie. What do you call that? The brownie paste. I forgot what it was called.
Chocolate something, right? I can't think of it either. Fudge?
It's kind of like that, but it was but I would say the soup and the salad was pretty good, man. Like the chicken salad was really good. I actually really liked it, and it actually looked really fresh. So, and I'm not a salad guy by any means, guys. You know.
You like sandwiches?
I do, yeah, chicken salad sandwiches, but not like a full salad. You know, but okay. I actually had the salad over there. It was good. It was nice with the corn and all the other stuff like the horseradish. You know, it was pretty nice.
Yeah, they had so many ingredients for the salad.
Yeah.
And like you weren't limited to that one time around the buffet. You go back around. Yeah.
As many times you want. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Now, the muffins they were preparing it like right off the bat. There were cupcakes, the buttermilk muffins and stuff. I don't know whether there were sandwiches or not. I'm not sure. I think there was like rice as well, something like that. I'm not sure. Rice with salad or something, maybe.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
They definitely, for a place that emphasized salad, they definitely had a lot of variety.
Yeah, they did. So good.
For those of you guys that don't know, I believe this was just a West Coast chain. But yeah, it did end up going out of business along with other food businesses that were equally as popular. I know. I'm surprised Raising Cane's didn't go out of business, man. Like, in all honesty, I'm surprised. I thought they would be one of the first places to go out of business. Yeah, because they don't deliver. Like, at the time, Uber Eats and all that shit was as popular. And it took a while for that to get popular in the pandemic, by the way. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Like, people weren't ordering Uber Eats right away when the pandemic started, when the quarantine started. It took a while for people to be like, shit, I don't want to go outside, but I'm hungry. So just the DoorDash and Uber Eats, yeah.
Yeah. For those of you who haven't really tried Raising Cane's, you go try the sauce. That's the main thing. Yeah.
It's almost, well, you might not know this. You might have had it in the past. It's like a Big Mac sauce kind of thing, in my opinion.
I tried the Big Mac sauce, yeah. I mean, the ingredient they have, I think it's the Worcestershire sauce. That's the main thing. If I'm not wrong. So
the Raising Cane's one, yeah.
Yeah, and some other stuff. I tried making it. It was all right, but for you guys, if you want to make it at home or something, I would say, obviously they have different ingredients. I don't know the list and all that. It's secret, but you can try with the Worcestershire sauce. People who know how it tastes, and some other stuff, and you will see that there will be a bit of replication of the taste that you feel.
Do you think there's any salad dressing in it? Any specific salad dressing? I wouldn't be surprised.
There might be quite a few, actually. I don't know. But the distinct taste that you get and the smell is from the Worcestershire sauce. So, and that the rest is like garlic and pepper and all that. You got to experiment. Obviously, they will have like special recipe ingredients, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
But you can somehow make it at home if you don't want to go and buy it all the time. Tasting somewhat like that using the Worcestershire sauce, some garlic and pepper, and yeah. I mean, I'm actually not. I'm a fan of what is that? Chick-fil-A as well. It's got pretty good stuff, but Raising Cane's is like, it's just the best, I would have to say. You know, so.
Let me, we might discuss this off stream already, off recording, but KFC, Popeyes.
Oh man, I mean, I would say Popeyes, man. Like, because I
A lot
love
of people
KFC.
say, a lot of people say that, yeah.
And I'll tell you the reason why, because I used to love KFC, but the last few times I had it, I got like really bad heartburns, and I felt really sick. So I would just go for Popeyes. Yeah.
Do you, while we're on the topic of food, do you believe in all the hype of the chicken sandwich, like Popeyes chicken sandwich, KFC chicken sandwich?
I'll tell you one thing on this note. Okay, the last time I tried Popeye's chicken sandwich, it was very bad.
Okay.
It was not good. Yeah, it was just like, I think it was like really stale made.
Yeah,
and I think it was cooked in like,
yeah.
not just that, I think probably it was cooked in some leftover oil or something, I don't know. But over the past few years, you know, I don't think it kind of shows how, like, the thing is, like, I've had like good sandwiches from Popeyes as well, but the last one was not a good experience. But KFC or Popeye, but to be honest, I would always say either Raising Cane's or Chick-fil-A.
I'm not too as well versed in Chick-fil-A as other people are, but like, I get it. It's, if you like chicken, you'll love it. I get it.
Yeah, the only thing I hope, the sizes. I think hopefully if they were a little bit bigger.
Come on, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A sizes sometimes. But from the crispness point of view and just the quality of the bun point of view, I would probably go for Raising Cane's anytime. But unfortunately, it's not in the East Coast, so
you can't get Raising Cane's with chicken strips in a sandwich, right? Because
that's right.
Yeah.
That's all they do. You know, that's all they have. Like, either you get like the Texas toast or just the chicken tenders. But even if you get a sandwich, it's basically the bun having the chicken tenders inside with the sauce.
Yeah.
So that's all they pretty much do. They just really focus on something that they are good at. So that's
it's like a niche kind of thing, a niche cooking, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, the Texas toast that I tried was really good as well. The bun was really nice. I think the lettuce and the tomatoes that I got, or maybe just the lettuce or something, that was pretty fresh as well, very crunchy. So, yeah.
I know you might not be a huge fan, but one thing I did notice in Vegas was there's a lot of Vietnamese restaurants around, and like most of them are, you know, pho restaurants. Yeah. I forget what your opinion on pho was. What was it?
I think I like pho. You know, I've tried a few times. I haven't tried it in like the last few years, but I'm a fan of vermicelli noodles. So I think that's probably used in pho. These are rice noodles, right?
It can be, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I like it with a good broth and dumpling. I think it's going to taste amazing, and you can add some maybe chili oil and a little bit of garlic. It's going to be amazing. I don't know if you can or not. I don't know.
Well, like a place very close to Milford, I believe it's either Milford or Devon.
Right.
There's a place called I Love Pho, and that's not as like flexible as other like mom and pop places. That is an independent restaurant. Like, I wish they would. This is sidebar, but that used to be a Dunkin' Donuts, and if you look at their doors, the D shape is still on a door handle. It's like, you guys couldn't replace the door handles. But yeah, like, you can tell that like it used to be some sort of restaurant, yeah. And but like I was saying, I'm like, with pho, it's always best when you're able to choose your meat, because like sometimes they only have one variety, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
I've had the vegetarian kind before. That wasn't that bad.
Actually, I don't mind tofu. Tofu tastes pretty good. Yeah.
I like tofu too, but like a lot of people swear against it for some weird reason.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. People are used to like the fried tofu with the sauce, all the shit all on it. Like,
right.
That's good every once in a while, but like, you know, in terms of healthiness, it's meant to be eaten like in a certain way. But
the thing is, I don't do pork at all. Like, for me, it's just chicken, turkey, fish, and maybe just some ground beef. That's it. I'm not a fan of steak, pork, that's a big no-no. I don't like it. It's not really the best meat that you can have, to be honest. I don't think so. And chicken is nice. Good steak is actually pretty nice, but I'm not a fan of steak. Ground beef pasta is pretty nice. And turkey, not too bad. And you've got fish. Fish is probably one of the best stuff that you can eat.
Are you
especially good fish.
In general, do you just not like red meat in general?
Yeah, in general, I'm not really a fan of red meat. Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah.
Probably more white meat, fish.
I'm a true omnivore. I like tasting different things, but like there's certain things that people like swear by that I don't like coconut. There's
coconut is so good, bro.
Plantains I don't like.
Oh my god, plantain is best, bro.
And X who will remain nameless mentioned that to me before. And so there's also like what is it? I like spicy food, but a lot like yourself, a lot of people can't handle it because of the heartburn, right? And it does something to your digestion too, right?
So here's the thing, though. So you can eat spicy food, but there's a way of eating it, right? For me, someone who has digestive issues, I need to eat a good amount of other food in order to form a coating when I'm eating spicy food. You can't just eat like spicy food by itself. I can have a lot of white rice and some spicy food, and then maybe have a lassi or a buttermilk at the end to form a good coating. And that way it's fine. And also, so there are two kinds of spicy food. One with healthy spices, where it's hot, and the other with just like raw heat, which is very bad for your stomach. Yeah, so I try to avoid the latter. So Indian food actually, or South Asian food in general, Indian Nepalese food and all that, we have good spices that kind of harmonizes each other. So it's not like the crazy heat, which is going to damage your stomach. It's not like that. But if you go for like something like the Last Dab, right, the sauces that you have,
I was thinking
they're really
that,
hot. Yeah, then that's actually not good for your health. It's different. It's a different category of spice, which can really cause huge amount of damage.
Yeah, it's not made for taste. It's made for how hot can you make this. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of those. No, I don't think I want to try those.
I don't know. For me, it's like when I eat something really spicy, like deliberately spicy, and I finish it, it's like I just completed a conquest. It's like I conquered it. Like I did it. I finished it.
But I mean, how do you feel afterwards? Here's the question: like, what do you feel like 14 hours down the line? Like, is it still burning in your stomach, or the next day? You know?
Yeah. The thing with it is, I do take pantoprazole though, so like a lot of I don't feel. But like in the past, if I can remember in the past, I wasn't eating as spicy stuff in the past, but usually it didn't do anything unusual. Like occasionally, you'll have bad gas or something, or like when you poop, it'll be like kind of. It's not like
burning.
Like yeah. It's not like it's gonna kill you, like unless you eat a shitload of it. But like it, I was lucky that I had very mild side effects from it. Yeah.
The thing is, pantoprazole is actually one of the best medications that you can have. So it will give you some sort of leverage, because I believe, and I'm someone who has suffered from gastric issues. So pantoprazole, and you take it on a 24-hour basis, right? Mm-hmm. Every 24 hours on a daily basis, it forms a coating in your stomach. That's, I think, what it literally does. So if you take pantoprazole, even with pantoprazole, it's that kind of spice is never recommended. But I think it'll help, maybe even a little bit. So, I mean, let me ask you one question, though, and this might give people who don't know about it some insight of what pantoprazole does. Is like, if you had pantoprazole for 3 weeks straight, right, and then you're suddenly off it for the next 2 days, what happens to you? You suddenly start getting more heartburns, or is there a withdrawal effect that you have? The stomach doesn't really behave the way it's supposed to behave when you're on it. How does it change?
Maybe, well, like we discussed before, you just become dependent on it, right? It's like
right.
And like, it's not that that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just that you're relying on something that I don't want to say. It'd be different if it was like some sort of food that was grown that helps with heartburn, but like you're taking whatever medication that has whatever it might have in it, and like it's just not as natural. I feel like it's not a natural remedy to a natural food product. Like there's a reason why these spices exist, like Carolina Reapers, like they grow these food and like they don't add chemicals to it. Typically, they shouldn't at least.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it's a very valid point. Like if you can find a natural remedy in any way possible, right? And if you try to stay away from the food, and like for your case, I think you need the pantoprazole to counteract with other medications, right? That's one of the primary reasons to take. Or is it because of digestive issues? Like, what is it?
I mean, like, you always have to consider what other medications you're taking. Like, that's why when you go to certain doctors, they're like, give a list of what you're taking, and like, well, like, I think as dependent as pantoprazole can be, I don't think it really does not mix well with like with most medications. I could be wrong, but like I feel like I would have been given a warning before I took pantoprazole to not eat certain things or whatever.
No, I think that is correct. Yeah, I've personally taken pantoprazole
as needed.
I had to do a course actually many years ago when I suffered from gastritis, and so one thing is in the US, right, pantoprazole is only given to someone with prescription. So I usually take omeprazole, which is over-the-counter medication, right? And it actually is helping. And omeprazole is actually it's like the younger brother of pantoprazole. Yeah. So and it helps, but the thing is, you have to understand, like as you rightly mentioned before as well, it's not magic. You actually have to change your diet. You actually have to put in place the proper lifestyle changes. In addition to that, you can take the medication for boosting. But if you're not changing anything and you think that I'm just going to take the pill every day, I'm going to keep doing the same shit that I've been doing, and everything's going to be all right, it's not going to work. So,
I would imagine with the dependency, doesn't it become less and less effective?
It does actually, yeah. So that's why pantoprazole I believe pantoprazole shouldn't be taken for longer periods of time. It should be taken only like for 2-3 weeks just to cure yourself. And afterwards, you just go back on a healthy diet. That's it.
I've been thinking about getting off my pantoprazole just to see like how bad it is. But like, I would rather, if I had a choice, like, I mean, like the heartburn was never so bad that it was unbearable, but like, it's still, if you don't have to feel that discomfort, then why not? But like, I don't know. I feel like it's a give and take kind of thing.
But that's the problem, like, that's what happens, right? We give in. So I know what you mean. I would rather have Pepto-Bismol than pantoprazole. Yeah. Because Pepto-Bismol is something you can have, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Guys, just let me know. If I'm wrong, correct me. Maybe Pepto-Bismol is something I shouldn't be taking, right? For several reasons. So just put in a comment and I feel that, but I usually take Pepto-Bismol, that pantoprazole. There's a reason why pantoprazole is actually a prescription medication, because it's very strong. So whenever medicines are very strong, it's going to induce more dependency. And that's what you want to avoid. You rather want to have a little bit of Pepto-Bismol than taking a pantoprazole every day. Also, Pepto-Bismol is something that I take on a need as taken basis. So, going back to the previous point. Sure.
I feel like with Pepto-Bismol, maybe their formula changed over the years, but like, it's a trusted medication for a reason.
But still, the best thing would be, I would say, and I kind of I've been really slacky on like cooking food and eating healthy, over the past few months. But the best option will always be just get the grocery, just don't be lazy, just get the food from get the veggies and stuff from the grocery store, cook and eat. That's always the best option, and make sure that you eat healthy spices. Do your research. You gotta eat healthy spices like turmeric, papaya, plantains, which you don't like, I know, but turmeric, papaya, plantain, it's just so good for your stomach. It's literally liver medication. Papaya, turmeric, plantains. And I'm not talking about fried plantains, guys. I'm talking about buying a plantain.
What is actually,
And then boiling it with rice. That's what I mean. Not some stupid-ass fried plantain that you get packed. A lot of people think that, plantain, I'm just going to buy a fried plantain from the grocery store and just eat it. So, but no, on a serious note, bro, in some cultures, right, boiled plantain is actually a remedy for upset stomach. The natural remedy instead of eating like a pill or something. It's a natural remedy that, it's very easy. So in the rice cooker, right, when you make rice, you just throw in the plantain and it's going to boil it with some salt. And you eat that. And you can also make lentil soup. It's very good. So that at the end of the day, in order to cure your liver, you got to make the time to cook your food, eat healthy food at the right time, which I'm not doing, by the way. I really wish I would do, and I got to get to it. But yeah, that's the natural remedy, regardless of what medication you take, because there are only certain periods of time you can take medication. It's not like all the time. So.
I know you've heard of these services, but what is your opinion on like Freshly, like Factor, whatever? There's food delivery. There's two different kinds. There's the one where you just warm up the food and eat it. There's the other kind where you could just separate it so you just cook it yourself. If you're going to do that, why do you need it pre-packaged? So if you're just going to buy all the ingredients and cook the food anyway, I don't know. Blue Apron,
I would say it's no need for it, because if you really want to live a healthy life, you got to weed out all the bullshit. You just got to go, just like the good old days. You just got to go to the grocery store, get the potatoes, onions, all the veggies, spinach, and just make like food with that. You don't need Freshly and all this and that. I mean, you might want to get it obviously if
the time constraint.
Right, if you're someone who doesn't really have time and you don't really know much about cooking and stuff, and they have step-by-step guide, right?
You might just be lazy. You might just be lazy, and you just don't want to cook your own food. Yeah,
that too. Yeah, but for me personally, I've never tried, and I don't really want to, because
Oh, I was just gonna say, I've been very close to ordering Freshly. Like, I check their prices and stuff, and like, I don't think it's that bad. Like, it's bad, but it's not that bad. I'm like, some of the food was good.
No, it's not about good or bad. It's just like your choices. For me personally, yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like if you want to try something different, and also just for the sake of checking it out, how it is, just go for it, guys. Yeah, because there are a lot of services like that. And they're pretty good, and especially if you want to make a gourmet meal, right? And you don't know what to buy, they will give it to you, and they will give you all the recipe and everything. So absolutely try. But me personally, right now that I'm trying to get mass and bodybuilding, I don't need all of that. I just need basic food like rice and chicken. And I can just go to Chipotle and get my food and just eat it. And I can even make like potatoes and eggs. And you can all you need is potatoes, eggs, and onions and some good spices. And you can make a good curry with eggs and spinach and potatoes. And that's really good, by the way. So, yeah. And if you eat that on time, like it's very important, not just what you're eating, but when you're eating it. Very, very important. Especially if you're suffering from like liver issues and stuff, you have to eat good food on time. So as long as you're doing that over time, and it's also not like overnight, it'll take time along with some medications. Over time, hopefully we'll start seeing positive results. So, yeah. Sure. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, go ahead, sorry, bro.
I was just going to ask, is there any other food topics you want to mention?
I mean, there's so many, like we could talk about like pizza. This guy doesn't like pineapple on pizza, bro.
No, nobody does. Nobody does. Nobody likes that. No.
I actually love pineapple on pizza, man. It's just so good.
Pizza is a relatively salty food. You're putting something sweet onto all the salty food.
That's the freedom. That's the freedom we get in this country. You can put anything you want.
It shouldn't be at restaurants. It shouldn't be at restaurants. People should get the pineapple and be allowed to only put it on from home. Like you
Yeah, you
order a
can do
pizza,
that
you
too.
want pineapple on it, you have to get the pineapple separate and put it on
Oh,
yourself.
man, that's right there. Yep. You can put pineapple, well, why not other fruits like oranges and the lychees and stuff, put that on pizza, like make a sweet pizza, like a dairy pizza. Why not?
Are you forgetting what state I live in right now? The pizza snobs of the world over here, at least America, at least.
I actually didn't know that. Really?
Yeah, we're
Connecticut is
talking
like,
about Frank Pepe's. You've heard of that, right?
oh, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
that's why like supposedly it's well known throughout the entire United States. Like you could be in New York and or like Chicago and you say Chicago deep dish. Wow, this is the greatest pizza ever. And then you mention to them Frank Pepe's, like, oh, you're right. Like I've had conversations with people like that before. They're like, oh, Frank Pepe's, yeah, you're right.
I mean, it's pretty good, yeah. Frank Peppers, I've had it. I think it was a few years ago. So, but for me, I would say Papa John's is pretty good. I do like them, Papa John's.
But they're a chain. They're a chain. It's not like homemade kind of thing.
I know what you mean. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I actually got to go to Frank Pepe's. I don't know, like that was probably a long time ago. I forgot about it. Is there one in Milford?
I think there's one at the Mohegan Sun, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that's right, bro. Yeah, that's where I had it. Yeah, I went with my cousin. Yeah, that was a good pizza.
The actual Frank Pepe's, I believe, is in New Haven. I believe the actual one is in New Haven.
I remember the one in Mohegan Sun. To be honest, it was good, but it was not like mind blowing or something. I remember eating it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like it was incomplete, bro, because the pineapple was not there.
Blasphemy.
Damn, right? No, but I mean, I do like the one from Velvet Pizza, though. Like they have a pizza which is like it's like a white sauce, chicken, white sauce, chicken, and broccoli. It's really good. Like,
yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that before. Yeah.
Right. So it was on display, right? Remember? And the slices and stuff. And that one it's pretty like fluffy and it's pretty big, just the slice itself. It's pretty good. It's pretty nice. Yeah. Try that like twice. It's quite filling. It's a little greasy, I would say, but it's quite filling. Yeah.
It's not as greasy as yellow cheese, though, right? Because don't they use white cheese?
Yeah, it was pretty greasy, bro. Because I remember that they put it in like a plastic bag. Sorry, a paper bag. Sorry, they put it in a paper bag, and when I took it out, the paper bag was like completely greasy. Not just that, I put it in my back seat, and the back seat was kind of wet. It was so greasy. So, but it tastes pretty good.
Yeah. Did you do that thing where you put a napkin on the grease and like soak it up?
Actually, I did try that. But hey, come on, pizza is greasy food. Now you got to try it out, So especially the ones with a lot of cheese, So yeah, that's where you gotta. If you're eating, you gotta work out. You gotta exercise. That's the whole point. So
I've heard that like people who are vegetarians but they want to become vegans, they can't do it. They can't stop being a vegetarian because they don't want to give up cheese. Like that's like like that's a huge part of the vegetarian diet. Yeah, because like that's the only like truly like mainstream thing you have with the vegetarian diet, in my opinion.
Dude, I tried going vegetarian a few years ago. I can never do that. Like it's just like truly vegetarian food doesn't have eggs, nothing at all.
Yeah.
And it's just so tough to get protein from the diet. You need to have like a lot of beans and lentils. That's some of the main way to
like you're gonna get sick of beans, yeah.
Right, yeah, beans. There's so many beans, but how much can you eat? And then there's lentil soup. You can have tofu and all that, but how long can you just keep eating those every day? So, yeah.
I don't see how vegetarians do it. They have more willpower than I do.
And the vegan community, oh my god, like mad respect to them. Like, especially like if you're into fitness and you're a bodybuilder and you're vegan or vegetarian, like that's tough. And if you're really at that stage where you're trying to compete, I've got a lot of respect for people like that.
I mean, they must have very customized protein shakes, right? They're like
probably
customized to them, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if they're truly like vegan or vegetarian, they cannot just randomly buy any product because they can easily have like beef protein, any sort of animal protein. So again, a lot of respect to them. Yeah, it's tough. and you're trying to, and you just stick to it throughout your whole, say you're getting ready for a competition, right, or something like that, and you just stick to it, regardless of the challenges. Like, that's very tough. Yeah. At least I feel that way because I can never do vegetarian. Yeah. But yeah, that's, any other topic you want to talk about? Food-wise, like, anything you want to say to the viewers? Go ahead, bro. Like, any suggestions they can give or something like that.
Yeah. Like, most of you may know my policy on saying like and subscribe, but like, there's nothing wrong with just a comment. Like, like as a small, I consider a relatively small YouTube channel, I have the luxury of monitoring the comments. So, but like, if you were mid-level or even like, really big, you can't control them all. Like, you will literally have to hire someone to approve and disapprove of your comments. And like, I'm just saying, if you leave a comment, let's all be peaceful here. No one. I don't run a channel that talks shit or tries to hate people. So like, I'm just saying, don't put those comments on there. But with that public service announcement, I don't know. If people have any ideas for what they want to hear us to talk about, that'd be fine. We'll be open to that. Myself is TonyCouldveBeen, and he is exploring space. But yeah, we're still messing around with this YouTube and video thing. But is there anything else you want to say?
Dude, I gotta get this reference, bro. Carl Penn, John Cho, if you're watching this, I gotta put a reference for Harold and Kumar. Come on, Harold and Kumar. I love that series, bro. Like, personally speaking, I love those movies. It's so good. Especially the first one. Remember that scene where he's putting the ketchup with the fries in White Castle? Dude, in White Castle, bro. Bro, in White Castle.
I remember White Castle, yeah, but
yeah, but he's eating the fries. That's the iconic scene where eating the fries and then putting the ketchup with the fries. Oh man, like, and that was a good movie. Remember the scene with the cheetah? The cheetah was smoking the marijuana.
They were writing it or something.
That's right. Yeah. Before that, yeah, they calmed it down with like weed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but Harold and Kumar, man, that's serious.
I told you about the Indian guy, right? I told you what happened to him, right?
Yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah, I mean, it's a free country, absolutely.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, Cal Penn, I think it was, he came out of the closet, and I think we discussed this before, how that's very taboo, especially in the culture. So, I mean, more power to him. Like, be whoever you want to be, of course, but. He knows people are going to judge him. I'm sure he knows that.
Yeah, on this one, I got to say, guys, like, just be respectful to everyone, regardless of whatever. Like, we all have our identities, and what we choose to be is totally up to us. So if you're okay with whoever you are, you should be okay with someone else's decision to be who they are. Yeah. Just respect everyone. Just be nice to each other. We all got to get along at the end of the day. We're super nice, be friendly to one another. We're all the same. Regardless of where we are, who we are. At the end of the day, we're all other human beings. So we got to respect each other.
I hate to say this, but I hope that his family was a little bit accepting, if not supportive. But that's quite. I'm not an Indian, and I know that. That's quite the step. That's quite a big step to take. And like, I'm sure he's probably had immigrant parents. So it's like, I mean, I wouldn't be able to do that if I was gay. I wouldn't be able to go up to all these East Asian people in my family. Oh, by the way, I'm gay. Like, that would not be cool. That would not be a cool thing to do.
And we're in 2022. Like, I hope that people become more accepting from any culture. And it's 2022 right now, Yeah, can't believe we're even talking about this. Like, we should be accepting of one another no matter what. It's all about being happy and peaceful to one another.
We may or may not. Obviously, most of us are hoping that like this entire experience with COVID-19 is going to make the world a better place. But Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Actually, Carl Penn is actually a really good actor. You know, he's a good actor, bro.
Do you remember? Did you watch House?
Oh, you mean the House MD, right? With the guy.
Yeah.
The show, yeah. I mean, I've seen some episodes of it. Like, was Carl Penn in it?
Temporarily, yeah. Do you know what happened?
No.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Yeah.
Cal Penn, his character, he was always like, he was a smart doctor or whatever. He was doing residency or something, I assume, but because they worked in a teaching hospital, and I think it was a teaching hospital, and his character seemed relatively normal, and one day he doesn't show up to work, and House finds out he killed himself, and like he never seemed like he was depressed, his character, and he just disappeared off the show one day, and like House couldn't accept it. He was trying to find a sign of foul play, or like he was like no one saw it coming, and like I mean that's one way to take his character off the show, but like I wonder whether that was always in the script or not.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, no, I didn't know any of that. Yeah, I remember seeing him in I think a late night show or something with another famous YouTuber. She started a late night show, but he did tell me on a separate topic. He did tell me that they're actually quite the opposite in real life, right? John Cho and Carl Penn.
Yes, because Carl Penn is usually the responsible one. He like gets good grades and stuff, and John Cho is actually the fuck up, which is interesting because like
no, it's the other way. Wait, it's the other way around, right?
No, Cal Penn, his character was the fuck up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
In real life, he's straight edge, but yeah, John Cho's not straight edge. He's a fuck up. Whereas, yeah.
Dude, John Cho was the guy who was yelling MILF, remember, in American Pie?
He was there, yeah, I remember he was in that movie, yeah, I remember
That's right, yeah, that was funny, yeah. Oh, yeah, no, so are we done? Like, you want to close up by saying something?
I think I said everything that I had to say, I think, just about the comments and stuff, because, like, don't be mean for the sake of being mean. Like, if you actually have an opinion against something, that's fine. But if you're just gonna call people names and shit, like, no, come on now.
Yeah, again, yeah, just be nice, guys. You know. Peace out.
All right. Yeah. See you guys. Take care of yourselves and each other.